It's no pair of cross-country skis, but it'll go. This lake could literally freeze overnight. We gotta get down off this mountain! These late season hunts, you never know what you're gonna get. We actually came down to this lake with the intention of putting our boats in and paddling from here, but obviously we're standing on 2 inches of ice and it's minus 20 Celsius last night, minus 1 Fahrenheit. So we have to change our game plan and go to plan B, which is gonna be hike with the boats through the bush and get them to another lake where we'll see whether it's open or not. And we'll have to go from there. Things can change so fast and you have to have an alternate plan. Difference in this hunt is Karl's gonna get to put away the camera and he's gonna get to pick up a gun. We're gonna try to get ourselves a late season ram. The coats this time of year on these sheep are just fantastic. We've got 10 days left in the season and we're gonna work hard and see if we can't get another ram on the ground. It's no pair of cross-country skis, but it'll go. This is the first for me pulling a boat down a trail in a hunting situation. Happens in adventure racing all the time. I'm assuming that that lake's gonna be frozen and we're gonna be walking beside this thing. Who knows, right? Losing anything? We're just stripping down a little bit. Because even though as cold as it is, like 0 Fahrenheit, you get overheated and all you have is wet clothes. Even though you got the best wet clothes, it's still wet clothes. It takes a little bit longer to dry out. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. We're 100 meters from the lake. We can see that the lake is completely open, which is fantastic as well. You know, we're a little bit, I don't know, afraid is the right word, but back there on the other lake where it's completely frozen, it's nice to see that we'll be able to paddle this and get further back into sheep country. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. Let's go find some sheep. We need to get further down the lake in order to be able to glass the mountains that we think that the sheep are going to be on. And if we can find ewes and lambs, we're eventually going to find rams, because at this time of year the rams are coming into the ewes on these south-facing slopes. So we can't do it from here, so it's time to get in the boats and do some winter paddling, which apparently is quite underrated. These life jackets in this water are just so that they can find your body in the spring. This lake could literally freeze overnight. This time of year in the Yukon, we're literally losing 8 minutes of daylight every day. So on a 10-day hunt, you know, you've almost lost an hour and a half. And it's so crucial to just be up and ready to go. And if you see something, you got to be able to move. So if you fell in here, she'd be a tough go. So that's why we brought the boat in here. So if we saw something, we don't have to, you know, go all the way around the lake on foot. We can get across the lake and get after it before we lose shooting light. But the idea today is just to sit across the lake, glass these south-facing slopes, and hopefully pick up even ewes and lambs, because if we do pick up ewes and lambs, we know within the next few days the rams will be there. They're moving in this time of year to the south-facing slopes, getting ready for breeding season. So that's kind of a complete contrast to our August sheep hunts where we're just moving through the mountains, just picking things apart and covering ground.
Got a little shark meal replacement for lunch today. Nice hot treat on a cold day.
It's just gonna be more hours sitting behind the glass, trying to pick white sheep out of white mountains. You glass this and haven't seen anything, so we're just gonna keep moving. We're in a bit of a unique situation at this time of year where if we don't find any sheep on these south-facing slopes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna head down to the river mouth where the salmon are running. And this time of year, the grizzlies are in there feeding on salmon, and you know, we might possibly get a chance at a bear as well. So we all love hunting. We all love being in the mountains, and sometimes we ride that thin line. Our situation is not where we want to be at the moment. We got to this point on the river last night and everything was fine. We're only about 5 miles from, less than 5 miles from actually where we want to be as far as hunting sheep and bears. We set up camp and got up this morning, and our boats are deflated and we've been trying to pump them up, but the temperatures last night were below -20 Celsius and below -3 or 4 Fahrenheit. So we're in a situation where we have no boats and there's nothing we can do to fix them. You can't patch them. These temperatures, glue is not going to stick. There's nothing we can do with these boats. But we're so close to where we want to be, and we've gone so far to get here. I personally don't want to abandon this hunt. So I think we have to power on, and we'll figure out how to get out of here later. That's my opinion. Back to hiking. We've been sitting on our butts for too long anyways. Let's do it. Karl, there's sheep right there.
I think that's a nice ram. Yeah, he's beautiful.
You want him?
Yeah.
Like we're just sitting here looking for bears, and I thought, oh, that looks like a decent, you know, kind of hill that doesn't have a whole lot of snow on it, that makes sense for sheep, and bang, right away I saw the two of them. Well, they were They're kind of skylined on that ridge, right? And then you pull out the scope and then 2, 3, 4, 7 altogether. But it's way too late to go after that ram tonight. It's 6 o'clock, we have half hour of daylight left. So we're gonna continue to look for bears with the last bit of light that we've got. This isn't the greatest place that you want to be out in a salmon river in the middle of the night in bear country.